Hello, these proud students have made a paper squishy. They thought about what they wanted their food product to look like and did their best to color it. Then they used tape and some filling to make it a paper squishy that is squishable. They might make it look like a real product with just a change or two, or you can make up your own project. Here I made a product called Mush, and I made it the grossest color green packaging and drew a picture of what it looked like. You can be inspired by a real package or a picture that you've seen of a real package. It's nice to really notice the details. What do they feature on the package to make people want to buy it? I used pencil on a white plain copy paper, a nice thin paper, to copy these details, but to make my changes. So these are actually called sludge stripes, and my elf doesn't look too innocent anymore, feeding us sludge stripes. You can always write down the colors you're using in case you don't finish coloring with them. A lot of our good markers have numbers on them, but I was using Crayola yellow and Crayola brown here. So I wrote all that down. Once you have finished coloring, doing your very best on a package, my big change on this one was to make the marshmallows look squished against the plastic. You need to cut a paper that will be the back. Some people might want to do a white paper that has the ingredients on it, but in many cases we put a lot of effort into the front and we can use a plain paper on the back. I made sure that it will fit exactly the same size, so I line it up in the corner and draw a pencil line around it. In this case it's exactly half a sheet of paper, and that's an easy way to do it. If it's a little bit smaller, then you would trace the whole top and side, and then cut it very carefully and very neatly with your scissors. Look at how my scissors, I take my time and line them up before I close them down. Then I check and make sure the back is perfectly aligned. And I'm going to go ahead and use a little piece of Scotch tape to hinge it together so that it's ready for the final steps. Unless you have about 10 minutes of class time left, it's best to stop now or add some details, maybe on the back. This is a good time to add your name because this part takes 10 minutes. I pull a packing tape and rip that tape to be longer than both sides put together. And then I'm going to lay it with leaving an overhang on all three sides, top, left, and right. Next, I'm gonna, over my art, stretch another piece that is bigger than the tape. You're going to continue with the next piece that overlaps, kind of like a shingle on a house roof, letting it overhang on the left and right. Every time I pull the tape, I make sure it is longer than my two papers. You can press and smooth it out from the center out, but don't press on the table, just on the paper. And continue all the way down, shingling over nicely until you get to overhang the bottom as well with tape. So when I lift it carefully from the table, it is sticky. Hopefully my table, it doesn't have crumbs on it. And now it's time to make a snip right at the spine on the top and bottom. Because here we are going to trim the tape from the back. To keep your front nice, the nicest part of your art, your back is going to get the trimming. And you'll see why. Every time I make a snip, I notice I have to kind of pull away and get rid of that scrap. And I'm going to make a little pile, a little mountain. And I'm only trimming the tape away from the back panel. I'm going to leave it around the front panel, all three sides around the front panel. And then the three sides around the back panel are going to be a nice clean snip. Take your time and make it super nice, cutting right along the edge of the paper without cutting onto it. You'll see I'm almost finished. I keep pulling the sticky tape off and getting rid of it in my mountain. Here we go. When the back panel has no overhang tape, you may now flip it on its front and start the folding process. So I fold the back nicely over the front, and I'm gonna use the tape to connect the bottom and side. That's gonna be a pocket. This is also how people form pillows out of fabric. I'm holding the panel lined up, and then I decided I would like to cut off the zigzags of this tape over here, still leaving some overhang. And then I'm going to fold the side over the back. So my front stays nice and clean and plain. My back will have the little foldovers. I totally forgot to put my name on this. I hope you put yours on before you do this step. And there we go. We have a pocket. 2 of the sides have been closed. And before you close your pocket, you have to use the filling. I'll have different kinds of filling on different days. I'm trying to reuse filling that I might have from old pillows or old stuffed animals. This is a really nice memory foam, and it's pretty messy, so we'll want you to put it on a tray or a container to bring it to your table. Sometimes these are squishier if you don't have too much inside. So think about, do you want it to be squishier and kind of more fun, or do you want it to be very plump? We also want to make sure there's enough for everyone. You can use your hand or a pen to stuff it down, and it's hard, but try not to get any on the tape. Putting a little bit more on, and then it's going to be time to fold my last side of tape to complete my art. Once you've finished, you have an awesome paper squishy art piece.